Have you ever wondered what would happen if all humans suddenly disappeared from Earth? A curious thought, isn't it? Let's delve into this hypothetical scenario. Imagine the world as we know it today. The hustle and bustle of city life, the hum of industry, the chatter of billions across the globe. Now, picture all of that. Gone, vanished. In the blink of an eye, every human on Earth disappears. What happens next? In the immediate aftermath, the world would fall into an eerie silence, a stark contrast to the noisy, vibrant place it once was. Cities, once the epicenters of human civilization, would become ghost towns. Streets, usually thrumming with traffic, would stand empty and silent. Buildings, once teeming with activity, would echo with the absence of human life. But the silence would not last. Soon, the sounds of nature would fill the void. The chirping of birds, the rustling of leaves, the hushed whispers of the wind. These would become the new soundtrack of our planet. Meanwhile, our homes would bear silent witnesses to our absence. Pets, left without care, would have to fend for themselves. Houseplants would wilt without water. Food in our refrigerators would spoil. The hum of our air conditioners and heaters would die down as power plants without human operators go offline. And it's not just our homes. Everything we've built, factories, schools, hospitals, all would stand useless. A testament to a civilization that once was. Our technological marvels, from the simplest gadgets to the most complex machinery, would grind to a halt. But this is just the beginning. The disappearance of humans would trigger a series of events, a domino effect on the world as we know it. As the initial shock subsides, the long-term effects begin to take hold. And that, dear listeners, is a story for another time. What happens to our cities and infrastructure when humans are no longer around to maintain them? This question leads us into a fascinating exploration of how the natural world might react to the sudden absence of its most dominant species. In the early days following the hypothetical disappearance of humans, our cities and structures would stand still, silent and empty. But not for long. Nature, in its relentless pursuit of equilibrium, would begin to reclaim what was once hers. Vegetation, long held at bay by concrete and steel, would start to creep back in. Seeds carried by the wind or dropped by birds would find purchase in the cracks and crevices of our abandoned structures. Fast-growing plants like kudzu and ivy would scale the sides of buildings, their roots digging into the mortar and causing it to crumble. Over time, taller trees would take root, their mightier trunks and branches exerting pressure that could cause walls to collapse. Wildlife too would make a comeback. In the void left by humans, animals would find new habitats in our deserted cities. Birds would nest in the rafters of our homes, while larger mammals might find shelter in the basements and subway tunnels. Predators would follow their prey into these new urban jungles, creating a diverse ecosystem where once there was only concrete and glass. But it's not just the living parts of nature that would reclaim our cities. The elements, wind, rain, and temperature would also play a major role in their degradation. Rainwater, no longer diverted by functioning drainage systems, would seep into buildings, causing wood to rot and metal to rust. Winter freezes would make roads and bridges crack and crumble, while summer heat could warp and buckle asphalt. This process, while it might take centuries, would eventually leave little trace of our once bustling metropolises. Our towering skyscrapers would be reduced to rubble, our sprawling highways to fragmented paths. As nature takes over, what was once familiar becomes wild and untamed. Without humans, who becomes the dominant species on Earth? This question poses a fascinating thought experiment. As we step into a world bereft of human presence, we see a dramatic transformation in the animal kingdom. The immediate impact would be experienced by domesticated pets and livestock. Dogs, cats, cows, and other human-dependent creatures would face significant challenges without us. While some may adapt and survive in the wild, many would likely not fare as well. On the other hand, animals that have adapted to thrive in human environments could flourish. Rats and cockroaches, for instance, have long been our uninvited guests. Without us around to control their populations, they could multiply in staggering numbers, taking advantage of the vacant human habitats. In the absence of human hunting and habitat destruction, endangered species might see a resurgence. Elephants, tigers, rhinos, and other threatened animals could reclaim their ancestral lands and grow their populations. The jungles and savannas would echo once more with the trumpeting of elephants and the roar of tigers. In the oceans, the story could be similar. Without human fishing and pollution, marine life could rebound. Coral reefs, so often bleached and dying from human activity, could slowly recover, teeming with fish and vibrant with color once again. And let's not forget about the birds. In a world without humans, they could nest and breed without disturbance, filling the skies with their melodious songs and vibrant plumage. But what about the apex predators? With their natural prey returning and no humans to fear, predators like wolves, bears, and lions could see a golden age, becoming the true kings and queens of their ecosystems once more. However, it's not as simple as declaring one species the new ruler of Earth. In reality, without humans, the animal kingdom would likely see a dynamic equilibrium, with various species rising and falling based on their adaptability and ecological niches. The animal kingdom would see a dramatic shift, but what about the rest of the planet? Without human industry, how does the climate respond? This is a question that is as intriguing as it is complex. Imagine a world without the constant churn of factories, the ceaseless hum of vehicles, or the plumes of smoke billowing from industrial chimneys. Our planet's atmosphere, for the first time in centuries, would be free from the relentless assault of human-made pollutants. The absence of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane, which are primarily responsible for global warming, would allow the Earth to breathe again. As the levels of these pollutants dropped dramatically, the climate would respond. The Earth's average temperature, which has been rising steadily due to human-caused global warming, might start to decrease. This could lead to a cooling period, a stark contrast to the warming trend we've been experiencing. However, this cooling wouldn't happen overnight. The Earth's climate system is a complex beast, and it responds slowly to changes. The heat trapped by greenhouse gases doesn't just disappear. It takes time for the atmosphere to adjust. But gradually the planet would cool down. The skies would become cleaner and clearer as the reduction in air pollution leads to fewer particulates in the atmosphere. This could result in more sunshine reaching the Earth's surface, leading to potentially more vibrant and healthier ecosystems. But it's not just about temperature and sunshine. The reduction in human activity would also impact the world's water systems. Rivers once polluted by industrial waste would run clean, and the oceans, no longer acidifying from absorbed carbon dioxide, could see a resurgence in marine life. However, this scenario also highlights the precarious balance of our planet's climate. A rapid decrease in greenhouse gases could potentially trigger an ice age, as the Earth's climate system strives to reach a new equilibrium. In this humanless world, the climate would begin to show signs of healing from the centuries-long assault by human activity. The air would be cleaner, the seas less acidic, and the average global temperature might decrease. But it would also be a stark reminder of the delicate balance our planet maintains. Our planet would begin to heal from centuries of human impact, but what about our lasting legacy? This question leads us to the next part of our exploration, where we examine the enduring impact of humans, even if we were to suddenly disappear. What evidence of human existence would remain if we were to disappear? A question that takes us into the realm of our enduring legacy, one that would persist long after we've vanished. Consider the plastic waste we've scattered across our planet. Plastic, the material we thought so convenient, takes between 400 and 1,000 years to degrade. Even then, it never truly disappears, instead fragmenting into microplastics that infiltrate every corner of our world. The oceans would continue to swirl with our plastic soup, a testament to our throwaway culture. Then there's the nuclear waste, the dangerous byproduct of our quest for energy. These radioactive materials have half-lives stretching into tens of thousands of years. Even with humans gone, these ticking time bombs would continue to pose a threat, silently decaying in their concrete tombs. The Chernobyl exclusion zone, a chilling reminder of nuclear power gone awry, would remain uninhabitable for another 20,000 years. And what about our ventures into the great beyond? The satellites we've launched into orbit, the footprints on the moon, the Voyager probes sailing into interstellar space? These bits of technology, bearing messages and images of a species long gone, would continue their silent vigils. The satellites would eventually degrade and fall back to Earth, but the moon footprints, preserved in the vacuum of space, would remain for millions of years. And the Voyager probes, carrying golden records with sounds and images from Earth, would drift through the cosmos indefinitely. Our cities, our creations, our waste, they would become silent monuments to a vanished species. They would whisper tales of a time when a curious creature called human walked the Earth, looked up at the stars and wondered, so what evidence of human existence would remain if we were to disappear? Quite a lot, it turns out. Our impact on this planet and beyond is deep and enduring. Even in our absence, the echoes of humanity would continue to reverberate for centuries to come. In the end, the disappearance of humans would have a profound impact on Earth. We've taken a journey through the hypothetical scenario of a world without humans. We've seen how nature would reclaim its territory, with forests growing over what once were concrete jungles. The animal kingdom would rise, with species flourishing without human interference. We've also delved into the significant shifts in climate as human-induced factors cease. Yet even in our absence, the impact we've made on this planet would endure. Our cities may crumble, but traces of our existence would linger. Artifacts, monuments, the changes we've made to the landscape, even the pollutants we've released into the environment, all these would serve as reminders of the species that once dominated the planet. Despite our absence, the Earth would continue to spin, life would go on, and the legacy of humanity would endure in unexpected ways. Our story, it seems, is part of Earth's story, whether we're here to tell it or not.